welcome back everyone, and welcome to the Redstone Quarry podcast, episode 10.
Woohoo!
Yay! Okay, so today's topic, well, we're calling it News Point 2.0 for now. I guess that will be the project
Yeah,
title, and we can.
we will decide on title after recording.
Yes, we will probably change it later, but we're mentioning it right now to get closer with our audience. Very
We,
personal
we
stuff
could we
right
could
here.
name it insert title here, so it seems like we forgot to insert one, but it's actually the title.
That would be very, very featurous.
Yeah, the only thing we should say that at the end of the episode, so people will find now we get the title. Now, otherwise, the reason of the title will be spoiled.
Then we can check who actually watched the full video and who just comments. Why
Yeah.
is this?
At the end, we should say something like, "If you're listening to this, post this and this word in chat or in comments."
Yes, but I don't think many people will listen to the end. So I guess we should move on. Today we have, as usual, no topic because well, it's come on running theme, but it's just hard to keep like fresh, broad topics on which we can talk about for like over an hour, which are about not just Minecraft but technical Minecraft. So that's the excuse. Maybe we can, if we think of something again, we can do an episode, spend an episode on that again. But for now, I think that this plan is also working out quite well.
Yeah.
Also, we have me, enemy.
Yeah, of course.
Me, Niels.
And me out.
Yay. First, a bit of editorial stuff. We would like to apologize for last episode being up so late. Blame Micro.
Yeah.
As always.
I was gonna say don't name names, but someone had issues. Yeah, but yeah, okay. Considering
No,
it has been named,
yeah.
Box
No,
said for some reason he couldn't. He was some unexpected stuff pop up and he really couldn't work on this. Unfortunately, but I guess it's for a good reason. So yeah,
We'll try better next time.
yeah. Don't expect much from it. Because I mean, if you're hearing this, you already know what's happened. So,
Reading.
well,
Hearing.
Listening.
hearing.
Oh,
listening,
hearing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that kind of stuff.
what you said,
Okay.
reading.
Anything else about the podcast we need to mention? I guess
then-
not.
I don't
Alright,
think
so for today, we have in mind just as usual news, follow up from last week's comments, who were very diverse in authors. We'll come back to that later, and probably maybe extend a bit on what we're talking about and what we think about stuff, like as a conversation for no topic, I guess. And we may also, considering it's a 10 episodes, go back through all of the other ones, or at least some of them. Maybe cover some of the other ones in other episodes. Because of course, since we started this podcast, which is almost 2 months ago, 10 weeks ago, well,
More than
actually
2 months ago.
One.
9 weeks ago, yeah, because I can't count. 9 weeks ago, of course, there have been some people who have tuned in and have left comments on older ones. And until now, we only check the previous ones. So we will do a bit of a callback.
Yeah, maybe a
whatever it calls.
recap of
Recap.
our
Yes.
experience of doing a podcast from the beginning till now.
We could
We
also
could
do
also,
that.
yeah.
And it's gonna be pretty long, but I think that's all right for a special podcast. It's been 10 weeks, so or 9, whatever you want to count.
The other day I checked, and if you want to listen to episodes 1 to 9, it would take 11 hours.
Not 10. No, no, no.
No, most of them are a little bit over an hour. Yeah, 11 hours. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, you can do it in one day.
Yeah.
Wouldn't recommend it though. Yeah. So
I guess we're going to the news then.
Uh,
Alright.
yeah, let's start with news.
Wait, wasn't follow up and then news or news and then follow up? Because last time we messed up. Then.
Ah,
Well,
Yeah.
now
I
we're
think
doing
actually
news
no.
first.
I think it's no. I think normally it's follow up first. Actually,
Yeah, but this time
Messed
we're
up
doing all
again,
the
Wout.
follow up. So
no
so we're
follow
gonna
up
do-
because it's like earlier. It's like about the previous podcast, and then it's news about what happened in the week, which has been after the last podcast. Or at least after we recorded it. So for that, it's afterwards.
Okay then. If you want, we can do follow up first.
Yay, we win. Alright, so we have the very diverse comments from last week. I guess we'll start with the first author, Dr. Sploosh. Can I have a link to them a bit? Village Market Mods, please. I can't find anywhere. Thanks. Yeah, as you probably noticed by now, we are getting, well, I'll admit it, I'm getting quite lazy. I've been doing stuff as another project with a couple of people on here, and also other projects, of course, both um, IRL and on Minecraft, especially with college starting this week. So I'm getting kind of busy, and yeah, I've kind of not done much for the podcast. So I guess I'll try to change that. Maybe I can get one episode back to date tomorrow or something. We'll see. So yeah, it's not a real explanation. It's not an excuse. It's just it's an explanation, not an excuse. Excuse. All right.
Yeah,
So
we
we will
will.
try to get that done, I guess, tomorrow.
Yeah, we will put all the links in the show notes from last time.
Yeah, well,
Or
one episode
else.
at a time. I think we're like 3 behind or something right now, so we still have to do some stuff.
No, for
Ah.
9 we don't have it. For 8 we do, and for 7 we don't.
Oh, well, that makes sense. So 2. But it wasn't 8 like very incomplete or something?
No, 8 was fine. I did 8.
Yeah, but I thought that was like 8 was like half fill in here, fill in here, fill in here.
No, 8 was fine. Let me go back and
Alright,
check.
let's keep 8 because Yebe liked it so much.
Yeah,
Speaking of Yebe, oh
8
wait,
was
go
the
ahead.
one I did. No, it's fine. 8 is fine.
Alright. Speaking of Yebe, this is our second author who posted a record of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 original comments basically, and then 3 more responses. No, it's 7 comments like on his own, and then 2 responses to me. So that's a decent bit of comments. All right, so let's get through it. Yeah. So first comment is just about the show notes, so I guess we'll skip that. Again, already mentioned that. The second comment, I would love you to talk about the stuff you did. Looking at his builds, a bit hard because his native language is German, so the English is not. I mean, they don't think it's an assault to say that it's not too good. So I'll just literally say what's there, and you should understand the gist of it. And looking at these builds is the most interesting thing about the podcast. If they are built by you or by others, it will be nice to be able to get some information about these things. Yeah, so I guess that means we maybe should consider talking about our own stuff.
Yeah, we can do that later on.
Yeah, maybe not this one, but we can
Why not?
maybe start doing it. Well, because we already made do a lot of like recap of the podcast until now, so
Yeah, depending on.
it depends on the amount of time we spend. We may make this one longer though.
I really
Yeah.
liked the one where he says that he looked at the other episodes of Command King where you were participating.
Oh yeah. And he says I
he
suck.
comments on how bad you are at the triple jumps and that you really should be better with command blocks.
Well,
Yeah.
in my defense, Maki didn't properly specify how are you supposed to jump in midair. Of course, you can spawn a creeper, but how do you detect in midair if you press space? Apparently, what is allowed is just having a block under you. Well, okay, then that makes it a lot easier. So yeah, apparently the then solution was using a barrier block under you. Then you jump on that, and after 3 times you don't get them anymore, or rather 2 times you don't get the block anymore. So yeah, that was apparently what it was supposed to be. And yeah, he didn't think I would be so bad, and I still don't think I'm bad. I'm sorry. I have to not take this comment into account because else I will die of humiliation. Yeah. Second. No wait. I think that's third and fourth one are about our stream. Yes. So I think we should also talk about that. Like all 3 of us were there to stream yesterday. We also had Bok and Pop join, but they unfortunately had to leave. Like I think one halfway and 2/3 or something through. Niels, enemy, anyone?
Yeah, for the stream, of course, we played The Nightmare on Christmas, version 1.2, the multiplayer version. And we successfully finished the map after, I think, something like 3 hours.
Yeah, something like that. 2, 3.
Yeah,
I think
something
it
like
was
that.
2.5 or 3.5. One of those.
Yeah, it was quite some fun. for like Wout finished it completely, and I did most of the puzzles as well. So it wasn't really that hard for us because we played the early versions as well.
Yeah, I
Mm.
knew most of the puzzles. I recognized the puzzles, but for some of them I didn't know the answer.
Yeah.
As a
And
result,
for
we
others, I did know the answer, but yeah, then you got other stuff, and I did not no longer have an answer. Because the one with the dropper, I had some kind of clock, and
oh yeah, there were different solutions in the previous versions, but
yeah,
1.2 they really got most of the alternate solutions out of there, and you have to go hardcore normally. But yeah, so most of us played it at least partially. So for a large part, it was basically just a couple of us giving hints and a couple of us playing and us watching them and that kind of stuff. So it was alright. So again, thanks to everyone who came out yesterday. I think we had Nook in my chat for a while, as well as Flying Chili, who apparently just found my channel. That's always interesting. And yeah, Yebe's comment is about how he planned to join, and unfortunately couldn't make it because
Yeah, he was there, but his video wasn't working for some
yeah,
reason.
apparently iPad and stuff. Yeah, but it's still nice he was in chat then, I guess.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
think yeah, for a stream, if you cannot see or hear anything, then I think he could hear something, but not see anything. But yeah,
well, that's something, and you can also
yeah,
still communicate.
yeah. Cannot see.
Well, yeah, I guess we'll move on from the stream then, as well as the comments, because that was the last comment. Well, no, there's still one comment, very important comment by me, which is from yesterday. Streaming within 5 to 10 minutes normally, and then a multi-Twitch link. But I don't think we need to talk about that again. We actually are a bit more organized than usual, and we have posted a bunch of links in the chat so we can go over those. And yeah, I
Open them.
guess are we just gonna do this like in order of stuff we put in here, or
No, from the bottom to the top. Make it interesting.
Let's
okay.
go random.
Okay, so
No,
we're
but
going
we
top
have
to
to-
bottom, top to
Mess everything up again.
Okay, so first video, I think most people probably saw it by now, or most people in the technical community. It's a very shocking Mojang interview taken by an anonymous interviewer. I mean,
I
okay,
did
I guess
not
we
see
should be
that.
honest here, but it's a joke, of course. And basically, you have this clip of some, I guess, Spanish show. Well, Spanish spoken. I don't know where it's from. Probably Latin America somewhere. And there's this guy who with his really, really freaky laugh, and he was laughing for like half of the thing. And basically, it's a really good like they put the guy put some subtitles under there, and it's pretty. It's basically it has a lot of references towards technical Minecraft. It's like supposed to be an interview of someone who works at Mojang. Of course, not true, but and it's really hilarious. It's like kind of it's almost a satire on the current situation of well the game, you could say. And I don't think we should spoil anything more. But do you guys still have anything to say about it? To anyone who hasn't watched it?
I haven't watched it, so
You should definitely go watch it.
You
It's-
haven't
it's-
watched it? Ah, Jesus Christ! What is
It's
this
it's a
here?
lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to
Yes.
watch.
It is. But you shouldn't. I guess you shouldn't watch it now. But you should after the podcast. Or
oh, I was just going
Yeah.
to do that. Damn it.
And especially the the guy's laugh and the subtitles. It
the
fits.
guy's laugh is
together.
fucking weird. Okay, I just said
It
it's
fits
fun.
together really well. It's well done.
All right. Let's move on. So next up we have a link posted by Enemy, which we will skip because it doesn't have a name. Okay, just kidding. I'm pasting it right now. Yeah, browser. Okay.
That's a Turing machine. I
Yeah,
think.
it's a 2D Turing machine indeed.
Oh,
Yeah, you talk about that. I talked way too much.
I?
Who is you?
Enemy.
Oh,
I think that one is posted
Yeah.
twice.
you
Yeah, I
can
also
you
posted
understand
it
it
because I
better.
didn't see it. But oh well.
Yeah,
posted it as well.
you talk about it because I don't really understand it that well.
Um,
I
Yeah.
was following that course yesterday. I just know where I talked about it for an hour. And
Okay, basically, it's a video from Redstone Chess, and he made a 2D Turing machine with command blocks. And basically, you can give it instructions, and he has a dog that he moves around that will execute these instructions. And it's basically a thing where he has two different kinds of blocks. I think it's quartz block and coal block or something.
Or just
And-
black and white.
Yeah, black and white. And basically every time like you would have an instruction where when you're on a red white block, then go north or something. And with that, you can get really interesting shapes just by putting in random commands. And according to him, like 99% of the stuff is like really boring, where it just like it goes off or that doesn't do anything interesting. But he has some examples in his video
It's
where it's actually doing some cool shapes.
it's a Turing machine, so it has multiple cards, and yeah, it only has 3 cards, and it makes pretty cool patterns, and yeah, it just
we-
randomly generates them, and
Guess we could
hopefully
explain what it does actually, like how this machine, basically what the Turing machine definition, but then in 2D.
ah,
Yeah,
Well,
if you can
not the formal
define that.
definition, of course, but so basically, what the machine does is it has like a head, as it is called, and he uses a dock to yeah, as an entity, so we can use it to execute command sum. And the dock basically is on like a plane, which is called a tape. Plane because he made a 2D Turing machine. The real one is actually one line, so 1D. But doesn't just make the 2D and but limited instead of unlimited like the real one, because yeah, well, Minecraft isn't infinite, of course. Now, what
it is pretty big though.
yeah, it's pretty big, but you couldn't make it infinite. That would be really hard to look at. I mean, wouldn't be able to view it all, so it's not doesn't matter that much. But so basically, what it does is every step, you could say, it checks under the dock and it checks, is this part of the tape a 1 over 0, a black or white block? If it's one of those two, it basically does 3 things. First, it writes a 0 or 1 there, so it basically defines the state again of the block under it. Then it moves itself in one of the 4 directions, so north, east, southwest. And then it goes to another state. And this state is something I didn't mention yet, but there's actually also some state which also influences what instructions it does actually. So I should actually repeat that and add the state, which means that every step it checks its state, and the state defines 2 instructions. One if the block under it is 0, one if it is 1, black or white, you know. And if it's black, it does these 3 things, like it writes or reads. It writes, it moves, and goes to another state. And if it's white, it will do those 3 things as well, but it can be different. Did that make any sense?
I think so.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
3 cards with all different those instructions, and after it did one of those things, it will also move to any other card.
Yeah.
Depending on if it was black or white.
No, this is like this is considered actually the informal definition. The formal one is horrible, and I hate it, but I will have to study it. No. But yeah, it wasn't the course yesterday. Oh well. Yeah, the informal definition, as far as I know, is also pretty accurate. But if you want to know more about this, Wikipedia has a elaborate page on the subject Turing machine. So I think we should move on.
If you want, you can do calculations with it, and basically everything a computer can.
Oh yeah, we should probably mention that actually this does this can perform it can execute any program which a modern computer can. Not this Turing machine though, because again he did change some things. Making it 2-dimensional, of course, didn't make it any less powerful because you still have the 1D feature in it. You can still use one line. However, what it did make it less powerful is the fact that it's not infinite. As a result, I actually calculated, like, it looked like something like 64, like 6 by 64 blocks. If you take that, that was something like 4 kilobits, which translates to half a kilobyte. And yeah, I mean, there aren't any programs on modern computers which can run on half a kilobyte. So of course you can't run many programs on this because it's limited, but that's part of Minecraft, and that's of course not his fault or anything. It's just how the game works. So yeah, I mean, I'm not insulting you or anything. It's just that I'm not. I mean, I'm not criticizing his machine. It's just that you have to put like a disclaimer with a disclaim that it only works if the machine.
In comparison with Minecraft equivalents of a computer, it's really good. It's the only thing it cannot compare to a real computer, because those are way more powerful. Is that what you're trying to say, or?
I wouldn't say the Turing machine isn't programmable without changing blocks, so that's still a difference. A lot of Minecraft computers, I think, you can program them. That's a kind of definition of a computer for a lot of people. And when I mean program, you're just using buttons. Here, you would actually have to build command blocks and stuff, and then you're basically already using more command blocks to do the thing than you're like doing Redstone basically. Oh well, I think we've talked about this enough.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. The 4 white flying machine. Niels, you seem to be very excited about this, so why don't you talk about it?
Yeah, Peter Young PB or TV. I think it's
W.
PW, yeah.
Yeah, damn it.
I also say that.
Saying it in Dutch. W. He made recently he made a 2 white and fences on the side, a flying machine that could just expand a bridge, and it could also retract them. And the other day on Cube Crowd, I saw him working on his plot on a 4 white version, and yeah, he also made a video about it, and it's basically even wider, and yeah, using more slime block things to move all of the blocks, because you cannot move it all at once because it's more than 12 blocks. I saw some things that he was making it even bigger, but I'm not sure.
The thing is, it seems really cool, but it's like most of those redstone contraptions that like I would never use in survival, because one, if I need a bridge, I probably would have it. If I would build it, I probably would have it extended all the time, because it takes forever to like move around.
Yeah, but what if you want to make a drawbridge? So your flying machine, if it needs to fly there, you can retract your bridge. Your flying machine can fly through, and then you can expand the big bridge again.
I don't think I will run in that scenario. Would be something I built for fun and then never use. Most likely, but it's still cool. It's really hard to do that, and I figured out a way. So cool.
I think, yeah, I mean, it's not very useful probably, but I don't really care about that. I mean, this is something you could build in survival just for fun, like have a castle with some kind of drawbridge.
Yeah.
And even if you don't, it's cool that they made it. Like, I think it's personally a lot more useful than most piston doors, and I even like those. So yeah, that's easy enough.
It's the same as what I said earlier. It's just I made it, and that just you achieved it, and yeah, it's all.
It's something you don't build for survival. It's something you build for the challenge of being able to do that. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we will mention 2 more videos, and then we're kind of there. They're very related. They're both by our good friend Nerdy. Yay! We know Nerdy, and he's an interesting person, but I think we should talk about the video.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, videos. Oh, okay. So, yeah, it's a series of videos, but basically, I think there were 2 important ones. And it's basically about ghost blocks. First one is a tutorial in which it shows a quite small contraption. It uses landmarks though, so it's only 1.8 for now, I guess. And with which you can basically, well, okay, it's ghost blocks. For those who don't know, ghost blocks are blocks which are only their client side. So basically, you create a desynchronization between client and server. Typically, I'm
And we talked about this last week, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same ghost block generator that
oh, really? Okay.
I showed.
Then I was probably too tired because I forgot. Sorry. Okay, but the interesting thing, which kind of almost went viral, you could say, oh well, there's a lot of people were interested in it, is the fact that apparently if you create ghost slime blocks, normally slime blocks, they give you an exponential downward boost, as in like, it's like every time you bounce on it, it multiplies your next jump height by like 0.6 or something. I'm not sure. So you converge to the ground basically. This thing, it's really weird, but it gives you more momentum every time you land on it. So it's like it looks like it's exponentially going increasing, which is really weird. But
Eventually, you will reach the moon.
well, if it's really exponential, it could go to infinity, of course. But well, I mean, it never gets there, but it increases.
It should go infinitely upwards because the mechanic on how it works is it thinks you're falling. It thinks you're still falling because for the server the slime blocks are not there, and for the client of course they are, and yeah, and then it will just like every time you fall down, it will think you have you fall from higher up, and then it will bounce you higher as well. So, yeah.
Actually, I'm thinking of something right now. We're saying infinite, but we're talking about computers, and one of the great things about computers is that we don't have infinity. We only have
that's
overflows.
probably why he came over last 2 days ago and asked about the height of how high you can possibly jump or
Well,
fly.
that's one thing. I'm thinking more about the
That's
speed actually.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, no. You're probably right though. If you're talking about
Yeah, like 2 or 3 days ago, he came into our TeamSpeak channel and was asking how high you can fly in Minecraft, because yeah, he wanted to know and just realized that it was probably because of this video.
yeah, probably.
Whoa.
But yeah, I think the answer is like the maximum value of a 32-bit integer -1 or something like that.
Well, no, that's included in the 32-bit integer. But I'm looking right now. Position of an empty are the tag doubles. And motion also tag doubles. So we have to quickly look in the MBT format. Some can tell right now we're doing on podcast research. Yay!
You had to do this beforehand,
Well,
Wout.
I didn't think of it. All right.
Yeah, you said
So
we had planned this one.
yeah.
We are prepared, but
Oh
you
my god,
lied to
this is
me.
really funny because like I see this IEEE and standard in the thing, and I actually view this in my course book as well. But I should stop talking about computer science. That's not nice. But yeah, tag double is 8 bytes, so 64 bits basically. It's signed, but it's a float, so it's not just like an integer. The value is a bit different. Double position floating point format. Let me quickly Control F overflow. It doesn't seem to have it. So, there's still one tweet actually we can talk about. So, what about I try to look this up and we can, you guys can talk about the tweet. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
I'll get back to it later
Another
on.
thing concerning
Yeah.
Ghost was Mario and Irio, probably wrong pronunciation of the name still. Also uploaded another video concerning ghost blocks. Also concerning the player position, and if you're standing in ghost blocks, of course the server will think you're falling, and then you can actually activate stuff that's below the ghost blocks. So for example, if you have a pressure plate below the ghost blocks, like 3-5 blocks down or whatever, it will actually activate because the server thinks you're falling down there. So you can do that for like hidden input or something. Undetectable. For example,
The only
also
thing, yeah, the ghost blocks, you have to regenerate them every time.
yeah, of course. Also, you can push around minecarts and walk into cactuses, even though they're below you, and lava and all that stuff still works. And yeah, just another thing using the desynchronized player position with ghost blocks.
The tweet, Sarge GDP tweeted that there will be a 1.8.2 next week. So
Probably
yeah,
by the time the podcast comes out, like this week.
yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes out on Monday, there's
Hopefully.
a pre-release plan, and on Thursday they plan to do a real one.
Yeah, it kind of bugs me how many pre-releases they did for 182. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that did that many features or bug fixes for 182 that they would need 7 pre-releases. Like, I think pre-release 6 was like, yeah, we fixed those 2 bugs that no one really cares about.
Yeah,
That
one
was
of
it or
them. Yeah,
something
we
like that.
fixed this bug that everyone cares about.
Oh yeah,
for the
3 or
bedrock.
4 where they broke bedrock breaking. Yeah, don't update if you still need to break some bedrock.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't just That's something we learned. Don't just update. Always first check. Do you need to do anything in this version before I update? Same with villages. You cannot do that in 1.8. If you're still in 1.7, then
Lucky
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably won't update for quite a while because we still have to do some stuff where we need to break bedrock, right?
Yeah.
I think for the
If you
Guardian
look
farm,
to
we
the
still need
screen right
that.
now, for instance, yeah, you do bedrock breaking.
Oh yeah, because we connected for background footage, right? Another tweet. Wait, let me find it again. Where was it? Is that he will be for 1.9 work. He will be concentrating more on survival and adventure mode features than on like creative and map making. Even though he will not do anything, like it's not like he's completely stopping that. He will do some things, but he will focus on the survival stuff.
The adventure mode, that's mostly used in custom maps, right?
Yeah, mostly, yeah.
So
Yeah, but he will also focus on survival, which is the main part I
yeah.
read in there, which hopefully will be really exciting with more survival features this time, because yeah, last few updates there wasn't that much for survival players compared to what they added in commands and so on.
Yeah. Well, the commands are nice for maps, but if you're not really playing a lot of maps or making lots of or doing anything with custom maps, then yeah, it's not really useful.
Also, another small thing that he changed is that when you have custom worlds with non-standard sea level, where you actually have ocean monuments that are above the water, they don't come with their own water anymore, or maybe they just I'm not sure. Probably just come without water, or maybe they do check if they're in water and then spawn water. Anyway, if they're above water, they won't come with water anymore. So it looks a bit nicer.
Yeah.
Also, he said something about that there won't be any public hunt for secret features on Twitter anymore because it's getting old, and he will come up with something else. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but yeah.
Cryptographic messages.
Yeah, we know more of those.
Yeah, like there's one tweet which is I think it's kind of out of context because it probably would have been in conversation somewhere, but I don't know conversation. And it's I prefer to call them Secret Wednesday snapshots. So yeah,
Weird.
new features soon,
Maybe they got
hopefully.
uploaded on Wednesday, but we just don't have the link. It doesn't matter much.
Yeah,
Oh,
by the way, it's February. Where are my snapshots?
we want our snapshots, people. Actually, Mr. Mackstein made a very nice snapshot review of the first episode, which was really, of course, was published today. It's called 69W69C, which of course is also a valid number, and I don't think we'll go into it right now. All right. I also looked into the double floating points overflow and stuff, but personally, I wouldn't know how it behaves. Basically, if you add 1 to it, normally it should try to add 1 first to the mantissa, then it sees that it doesn't run out of space, and adds to the exponent, it runs out of space. And what happens then, it may go into the sign bit, in which case it will translate to a very, very a negative number with a very small magnitude, like minus 0.00001, like way smaller than that actually, but whatever. Or it may just give some kind of exception and crash in Minecraft. I don't know. Yeah. I guess won't go into that because it's weird stuff. Oh well, it's speculation. Yeah. But so yeah, very nice ghost blocks. As well, ghost block and sand block because it actually bounces you up higher every time you end that subject as well. And I think that means we are through everything of our news, right?
I think we covered all of the links we had.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right.
I think Minecon, when the tickets will be available, is still not posted, right?
No, but
nope, it's
when
not
they
posted yet.
posted that on the 2nd of February, there was a Monday, they said within 2 weeks. So I don't
Yeah.
think they will be working on a Sunday, so it should be this Monday. Or else they didn't. But they promised.
Mojang not living up to their promises. Oh my god,
Yeah.
this is nothing which cannot happen.
No, the world problems.
I hope they don't live up to it, else they broke their streak. Okay, moving on from that.
And she just posted them, 1 hour, 2 weeks and 1 hour after the other post.
That would be very that would be very nice.
Yeah.
Alright. I think yeah, I'm just checking right now. I suppose we're somewhere in like but we're already 40 minutes in? Really?
Yes.
How did we do that?
I don't have a clue.
Clue.
Okay.
The only thing I can only, because I have the Audacity at half a screen. It, can only see that we have 39 minutes. I cannot see the seconds. Damn
Alright.
it.
So, what do you guys think? Are we gonna talk about what we did this week?
Do we have more comments from older episodes that we need to talk about still?
We can also do that first. If
Yeah, I think
it's probably gonna take a while, so we could take a break after a couple episodes and see what happened. And
Yeah,
check
let's
that later
do
on.
that first because we kind of teased it in the
Yeah, I
beginning.
mean it is a special episode, and I guess we
Would be
shouldn't
the
be
first
so.
time we tease something and actually forget about it, but this time we shouldn't.
All right, so episode 1. What is technical Minecraft? The comments. I'm just gonna do the newest ones and the ones which.
Well, you know that there is a youtube.com/comment space where you can see everything at once.
No, not if you're logged in with the wrong account.
But I can only see everything at once because we don't get millions of comments.
No, but you can see from all the videos. You don't have to click to the other video every time.
Well, I'm okay with it. That's
Much
way I also get
work.
like. This way I know what comments belong to what video, so it makes sense.
Otherwise, just if on that page you can just see the episode thumbnail. Okay, go ahead.
All right. I think we found our first comment from Yewe, which is a bunch of suggestions, and actually, I didn't know, but apparently you guys probably took a lot of his subjects. We
in
mentioned
the
that.
podcast,
He mentions external
thing.
MC programs, Villager
Yeah, like
in
the-
general, and also
that was the thing. I couldn't find it now.
We made a
Uh,
Google document and we posted all of that.
Yeah, like we put it all in there.
actually thinking about it,
Was-
this we could actually use these as subjects.
Yeah, they are in the
Next
podcast
season on the
topics,
Redstone
thing.
Quarry podcast.
They're all in there. We just need to do them sometime.
Yeah, there's actually some good subjects. Thanks, Yewe.
But for some of those, like we should actually do some research so we don't forget anything and kind of always forgetting that.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
not doing double floating point research anymore. All right. Then Captain Fry, thanks us. Well, not doesn't thank us. He says it's a nice podcast, and I
Oh,
would
are you
thank
going
him for
to-
that. That's very nice. Yeah.
Are you going to say every comment?
Not every comment, but
Okay,
like
okay.
if
Okay,
someone
that's
gives
good.
us a compliment, I think that's also worth mentioning. Like it's we don't want to just be like, oh, we only care about criticism. Like, I mean, come on, we're also humans. We also want to be
Are we?
liked for a bit, I guess. Yeah, well, like we still have doubts about the enemy and his robotic voice, but yeah. But
Yeah,
apart from that,
and
I
this
think we will
enemy
see.
net.
I am a human.
Of course you are. He does, however, suggest that, yeah, other guys' voices will be put louder than Micro, but considering this is the first episode, I suppose.
Yeah, and
Like
then
audio
back
balancing
then
stuff has
Micro
been
was
fixed.
recording it, and yeah, he had some. I don't know how he did it. His voice was recorded separately, but then merged in OBS, and his voice was up too much. And now I just have a recording bot, and that's just recording all sounds in this TeamSpeak channel, and it works
Also,
better.
another suggestion by MC Edge. Mods in technical Minecraft. I think we discussed this briefly, the one we talked about external tools, but I think I also suggested ones in the Skype group that we may want to look into, like technical non-vanilla Minecraft. As maybe a smaller topic, yes, but
So
I think it's possible. Like
mod packs like V2Bs and
Yeah, well,
I don't know any
well,
others.
I would say more in general, like, don't. It's a bit hard to discuss a broad topic like that by going to specifics, or maybe some examples. But I think yeah, we can also talk about can you be technical or not in other. Well, I think that's not a question which is pretty self-explanatory, but I don't know. Maybe some of your other ideas. Also, he has an idea for the randomizing, which we mentioned in the first episode, I think. It comes at one every created, so if doubles comes with 12. It would, one would be added to get 13. But I probably missed something extremely obviously here. I think that was referring the dispenser prime generation problem, as in you can't generate a random number between 1 and 13 with dispensers without having to run it multiple times. And the problem with this is, I would say that you never get 12. Every time it's 12, it goes to 13, so it doesn't really work out that well. And if you say, oh, it only does it half of the times, then you just lower it goes to 12 half as much as it should, and it also goes to 13 half as much as it should. Well, a bit more, but it still is not accurate. So thanks for the suggestion, but I think if I understood this well, it is wrong.
I don't know if you mentioned it back then, but can't you just name if you want 1 out of 13, just 13 armor stands, and
Yes, this
do
is
it
a nice thing
at
actually.
R. Oh wait, that R that only does
No,
players,
the thing
right?
is, at R used to only do players, and when when they changed it, I think it may have been actually after the post podcast, yes, but I don't think so. I think it was like October or something. They changed at R. Oh no, not October, like late 1.8 cycle, so let's say August or something. They changed at R to target a random entity, and as a result, they basically removed another functionality of mob spawners and allowed us to do even more with command blocks. Indeed, you can just have any number of entities, then just target a select group of them, and say pick a random one of these, and you can get any amount now. So that's pretty nice. For that problem, there used to be only a select group of solutions, which wouldn't require you to actually run the thing over again if the value is out of bounds. All right. And I think those are the comments from the first episode. So since I've talked a lot, let's move on to the next episode. And does anyone want to talk about this?
Wasn't it the villagers and villages one?
Villagers and villages, indeed.
Yeah, I do not know if it's first villagers or first villages. But
Well, actually,
That's
you're right.
Villagers and
It's
villages.
villagers and villages. You're
if
actually
you
right.
just don't pronounce it correct, that good, then it sounds the same. So it's don't worry about it then.
Okay, so I think if I look at this, it looks like most of them have already been responded to by 1D accounts, so that's probably Niels, and to macro. So
Or we talked about in the podcast.
it's actually
mostly.
quite. Okay, no, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like for most of these, we actually talked in the podcast, responded to them in our follow-up back then.
Yeah, so I guess we can skip this episode then, but a funny thing I see here is that Myron, EO, responded
Irio.
as well. Yeah, Erio. And that's really
I
funny
guess
because
it's still wrong, but I have no clue.
it's close, but the funny thing is that he is actually the one who I think invented the he invented the ghost block generator, right?
Yeah, he made
Mm.
the ghost block generator last week. We
Okay.
covered that, and he also made the first mobile villa cage. I think
Yeah, I'm sorry.
we had a
Pretty cool.
different episode for that as well.
Yeah, I think we also mentioned the we wanted the boat, right? Oh no, wait, that wasn't boat.
No, that wasn't this. That was from
yeah,
Octopus Craft.
damn it, I so many names. I'm sorry.
Yeah, something with a J and then Maple in the end. I don't remember the full name, but it's like the
Post it down
Octopus
below.
Craft YouTube account.
Okay.
We should make a spreadsheet.
Miran,
track
if
of all of
if
this.
you're listening this, write a comment because I want to
Because
know.
we are fame whores and no, I'm sorry, we are fanboys and we fanboy.
Yeah,
you,
we cover
so.
your stuff like almost this week, last week, some weeks before. Yeah, for almost every video we made, we talked about it. So if you're listening, let us know.
All right. Episode
Otherwise,
3
enemy
as
will be
well.
sad.
Yeah, enemy will be very, very sad. Actually, one comment I think Niels has to respond to. It has nothing to do with the podcast, but considering it hasn't been responded to, I guess we might as well do it now. Yeah, this looks like the conspiracy server, so I think it's you, Niels. Yeah, it's Niels. So Dummycom says, new here, what is the resource spec that you are using?
Oh.
So Niels, what is the resource spec?
I am
I'll just-
using multiple resource packs. I'm using old cannons. I'm using enemy
Yeah, this
improvements.
looks like old cannons actually. Now look at
Where's that? I can't find it.
it's the third episode, episode 3, perimeters. I quickly put the link in
And
chat.
I'm also using
Oh yeah. I have
the
it.
texture pack that I copied from another texture pack. I can't remember which one, but I like the inventory and all of the GUI stuff of it. So I just got that out of it.
Okay, I will just
And
respond that you
it's-
used cannons to improve the RP for this one, right?
I
looks
also
like
used
cannons one.
enemies improvements and my improvement.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
wait, so it's-
enemies improvements is basically enemies improvements on Ganon's improvements. That's what it's actually called.
Okay,
Like
so
it's Ganon's plus mine.
so you
so
use
basically
Niels'
using Ganon's,
improvements on enemies improvements on Cannon's improvements.
Yes.
So 3 improvements made. All right.
Yeah, for my improvements, there's no official link because it's still in work in progress, like forever. Because I don't really do anything with it and still want to do it, but never get around to do it.
And I don't think I have a download link for mine either.
So sorry, but now you know what
Okay,
it is.
I linked it.
But yeah, you can look up that one texture pack that has a clear GUI. I think I found it by Minecraft resource pack clear GUI or something like that. And
We will
I
put
found
link for
it.
it in, right, Link? Niels, you can find it again.
no, you did the show notes really well, so you can find it.
Oh, okay, we will have it in there. Doesn't matter who does it.
Yeah, I'm getting the link from Cannon's resource back then, and I'll just say that it's different, but it's kind of the same. It's similar.
Similar.
I did edit one thing of the GUI stuff because I have old Canon improvements and I have smaller bottles in there. So with this GUI, I still see the large bottles in a brewing stand, and it looks messed up. So I've edited that. But other than that, I think it's only the GUI and the font. Okay, let's move on.
So that has been awesome too. So thank you for coming, Dummycom. Also Norwegian, who is not listening to us right now, but he was for a while. He's in the room.
I think he
still
is.
talking.
He's standing right next to me in game.
But he is on TeamSpeak. He is both muted and speakers mute.
Because of.
Oh, well, so yeah, he said, "Oh my God, they said my name." So and oh my God, now he said your name again.
Yes.
Let's
Actually,
see if he
listen,
comments
it
again.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that he's not hearing this particular thing, so maybe not. Who knows? All right. Episode 4: External programs. Yeah. Let me just get the comments up again. I think we responded to everything here.
Probably should have checked all the comments beforehand.
Well, this is
Yeah.
our.
According to Wout, we did lots of planning. So
We did lots of planning. We put all of our 8
everything was
links in chat
prepared
before
for
we did it.
once. So I thought Wout already checked all of the comments and he made spreadsheets to. This
No.
needs a reply and.
When I said we did a lot of
Niels
planning.
logic. Preparing equals spreadsheets.
Basically.
It's funny because like for everything we do, like Niels has some Google Doc for everything. Like we have podcast topics. And,
Building
like,
the perimeter. Google Doc for building a perimeter in 48 hours. Another one.
no, like we seriously have a Google Doc where we like there's just materials for the large Moses, like calculated out what we need to build it, like, and we have all kinds of like we even have one which is only for villagers. Like all the villagers we have are listed in there.
Yeah, that's not special because that's one of the biggest, I think.
Yeah, that's like the main one.
It's giant database of what villages we do have, And if we can kill him because we have better traits and we have a search function to search the best villager for that level, and
We
we
could
have a list with all the villages, all the good ones we have, and a progress bar, and
You should probably make one where, that other people can use because it's really, really useful when you're dealing with that amount of villagers.
or just
Like-
an empty one.
Oh yeah, an empty one. Because
Uh,
we are basically going for the end goal of the whole villager trading project is that we don't need to enchant anything anymore because we have all book trades for the lowest price possible. And to do that, you get so many librarians that you don't know which one trades which and for how many, and it's way too hard to compare. So Niels made this spreadsheet which compares the trades and shows you which one is cheapest and everything. And you can search in it, and it's really good. And props to Niels for that. He's really good with that stuff. And yeah,
It's fun. Spreadsheets are great.
Yay.
Niels is playing spreadsheets. He's not playing Minecraft. He's playing spreadsheets.
Not even
Yeah.
MC Edit or anything like that. Spreadsheets.
Right. Yeah, they Google goes bankrupt. I think I have to record Niels' reaction and make $1 million of it.
What?
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
Alright, let's move on to episode 5. MC Edit featuring Adrian Wrightmore, our, well, technically second guest, but kind of first guest on the show. Because we kind of know Bob well. And he was on the show earlier already. So yeah. That one was...
Pretty long.
yeah, it was also pretty long. That's one thing. It was actually almost
The
2
one
hours.
thing in the beginning, every episode was longer and longer. So in the
Niels
beginning,
probably has somewhere
maybe
like a
maybe
spreadsheet
a
with
little
a
bit
graph
longer,
of
and
the
then
length.
okay, we did a longer episode, and then no, 2 hours, it's too much. Oh,
Niels,
Yeah.
do you have a spreadsheet where it's like the length of episodes like
Oh
compared to
no,
each other and so
no.
on?
no, I have not. I didn't.
Don't give him ideas, Val. He's making one now. With a nice
I was
graph and
sure
like a
he had one
derivative and
already.
Be
stuff.
right
And
back.
yeah, oh.
I was sure he had one already. Niels, you're
Right.
disappointing me.
Sure.
uh, yeah, no.
Okay. Then there's also episode 6, Bugs, which is kind of where the episodes start to stabilize at 1 hour and 18 minutes. Episode 10, damn it, 7, 1 hour and 10.
This is
1 hour
10.
10 minutes, so that's again kind of in that range. As we're getting closer, there isn't that much left which we haven't covered yet.
Yeah, we've
Um,
pretty thorough last few times, I think.
Yeah, so I'm just going through it and seeing if there's anything else we need to talk about. And then episode 8, the last one we didn't cover. Do we even need a main topic at 1 hour and 12 minutes? So
And yet,
yeah, I think
I
it's fair
think
to say
the
it's
answer
having
is no.
stabilized.
We don't really need a main topic.
Yeah, was an experiment, and this is the answer. So yeah, actually there have been some comments on here, but apparently
I
Niels here
noticed
already
that
responded.
for a couple of, I think the Bugs one and last week's one, they got released on Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, that's late, so yeah.
And then the amount of comments you can see it's way lower.
Alright, well, maybe we should see this early then. So
Yeah,
that's
we
it.
try.
Episode 9 covered in the beginning, and now episode 1 to 8. Quickly checked for new comments, but the vast majority of it seems to be already been answered.
What were we talking about?
I think we're gonna talk about our experience with the podcast.
Oh, right.
Alright. So who's gonna start?
You.
Yeah.
Me. Of course, me. Because I never talk, right? I need to compensate for that kind of stuff. Totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Just start talking.
Alright. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Like, what do you think about your experience here?
Well,
It's
I
more
had a
work
lot
than I
of
expected,
fun.
definitely. But I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we often laugh and stuff. It's. I would say generally fun to record these. I'll be honest, I'll certainly say that sometimes it's a bit boring, but it's basically because of my preferences. Like, some areas of survival I am not really into, and I'm also not that curious about. So as a result, sometimes topics can be a bit, yeah, a bit like
I do think that it's
sleep-inducing would be a
good
very
to
bad
have
word, but
some topics of that, so you have
But yeah, it
more
is good.
diverse.
I'm not
Because if
criticizing that because
yeah,
that's just me, and I know I don't want we talk. Uh, I'm sorry. Consider ourselves a technical podcast, and I can totally live with that. If I only like 80% of the stuff it's on here, and if I'm falling asleep during the rest of the 20%, and I hope you don't take that as an insult. That it's rather my interest in certain content and disinterest in some other. So yeah,
yeah,
that's my main experience. Well, that's my main, I would say, view on like the recordings. As for the rest, it actually is way more than I expected because
yeah.
I have already heard about podcasts and they let's just mention the name and link to it in the show notes. Limited Engagement podcast, which is a podcast about what was it was actually more of a stream, but it was also uploaded afterwards, so you could listen to it. But yeah, it was a thing about Minecraft map making. So it's also related to technical Minecraft, but not entirely. And they talked about a bunch of stuff, but the main thing is that they said an episode took them like they were with 4 people every episode. I think sometimes have a guest, but for the most part it was 4 people, and they each had this. They each had to do like I think 20 hours or something, or maybe
Whoa,
15 per week. And it sounded kind of ridiculous at first, but first they
not bad.
need to do the recording, so that's probably like the stream plus half an hour to an hour of testing and stuff. Of course, they always they act how to say practice. They prepare their stuff, so they have discussion
Oh,
about stuff
we can learn
before
from
the
them.
podcast actually. I don't think so because we wouldn't already do that. It's probably too much. Because two, we don't. Our podcasts are kind of good in length right now, and the more you discuss beforehand, the more I think
Yeah, but yeah,
compact
prepare
your
stuff.
podcast is gonna be.
It is always when before starting we quickly brainstorm. Oh, we can talk about this and this and this.
Yeah,
But
but they did it like excessively. They said they did it
the
like for
disadvantage of that is,
hours.
I'm always thinking, shouldn't we wait with this
Yeah,
until we
because
are
we don't.
recording?
Then we're gonna like say we have already had all the discussion and we know what
Oh
the
yeah,
other.
this is my
Yeah.
opinion on this, and then in the podcast, oh, I think about is now going to say this. It's going to say it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's not much of a discussion if you know what the other person's gonna
it,
say.
it's more just reading a book, and yeah,
Yeah.
now it's just whatever you think of, we say.
Yeah, so I couldn't, for example, know what Niels was gonna say there. Really weird, right? Oh
I
well.
thought you had telepathic magic.
So yeah, there was like lots of things like preparation for every time they actually like practiced what we were gonna say. Like not literally, of course. They practiced like topics. What are we gonna say about this? What are we gonna say about this? And
That's
also,
something
of
I would
course,
like.
every time they looked at they all of them went through all of the maps. I think they reviewed as a team, and then later on they had to select which ones make it to the podcast, which one make it to the newsletter, and all kind of stuff. So when I first got into it, I was like, I'm in, but as in but I would like this thing to be like not some kind of very advanced stream where you have like they
No,
kind of
it's
look at it
just
like the news. Like the news is something it's on daily, and but they it like
The
the people
full-time
spend
job.
you have a team of like dozens of journalists and editors and stuff
yeah,
working on it the entire
and
day.
sometimes it's just we have to say something, so let's put this in the news.
Well, yeah, and
Some
other
people
times can
don't
also be very
even
stressful because
watch
they need
the
to get stuff
news
done very quickly.
anyways. Some people that don't even
It's
listen to the news.
well, yeah, but
That's right.
whatever your opinion is on the news, you gotta admit that it is very prepared. As in, it costs a lot of
Yeah.
man hours to get done every
And
day.
another thing with news, it's always 23 minutes and 65 seconds.
With us, it's
56
not
seconds
that
or something
precise,
like that.
really, but it's
And yeah, this is just we start when we want to start and we stop when we want to stop.
with us actually they start at a given time, and but I don't know when they stop. I don't know if that's scripted. I don't think so, to be honest.
Yeah, but for the
How
the
it
real
works.
news on the television.
Yeah, I knew like over here the like main news, which is like every weekday at 7. I was also thinking the weekend actually. Like there's this quiz on beforehand they have, And the finals of the quiz, it can take like from 10 seconds up to over 2 minutes and 10 seconds or something. So if they stop, like there was this guy who gets the answer like right away within 10 seconds, and then the presenter had to tell them that like, yeah, well, the news can't start yet, so they're telling us to lengthen stuff here and there. I had to talk for like a minute or something because they actually need the news to be there. And like then they do 1 minute, and then they have like 1 minute of ads and stuff they run extra, and they can mess with those. Yeah, that's actually scripted, but the end I don't think is scripted. That would be really hard to pull off. But yeah, that's just diverting from the topic. But and the news is an example of a show which is very, very prepared, goes a lot of work into it. Um, and I really want to be in for that because, well, I thought, well, it's gonna be once a week already, so I would rather have something which is like, well, to do stalking model, you could say.
Yeah.
Just having a conversation with people and uploading that and seeing if other people find the opinions interesting, if they have something to say about it, that kind of stuff. It turned out to be more work than that, mainly because of the show notes, but that's just the part I do. I guess Niels and Enemy will talk about their parts and
Yeah.
their story. Um, but but yeah, it's just the show notes actually take like an hour or more every week, which
At the very least, the length of the podcast.
yeah,
Because you
at
have
the
to
very
listen to it
least, because you have to
completely
listen to
again.
it. So it's a lot. I never thought of that, but the show notes, it's a decent thing, and I think all of us have contributed to them already a fair bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sometimes you listen to it, but then you don't get links because you just sometimes another person talks about it, you have no clue what they mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Getting
then
the
we have to
links
like communicate in
takes
Skype,
takes
and
another bit, and
yeah,
yeah, and uploading and getting background footage is also something, and uploading on time is something we totally have figured out yet.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it's a lot more work than I expected. Even though we during the podcast we kind of stick to the simple conversational model with little prep, just getting everything's running the podcast on does take some time, and which is why also we have in the past already asked you a lot of questions about what you care about, what you don't care about, because I guess it wouldn't be bad to cancel some of those things, but well, if they're really important, of course we can keep them. Um, so yeah, that's my main experience. It's kind of fun, I guess, but it's also more work than I expected. Sometimes it's a bit boring because I'm not familiar with subjects and I'm not that interested in them, but that's just my interest and stuff, and it doesn't really
Mhm.
affect the podcast or you, I think. And yeah, I think that is it for me.
Yeah, for me, the idea to do podcast came like a long time ago, because we were like just TeamSpeak talking normally, and we had a lot of fun together. It was we're like, yeah, we could record this and think other people would have fun with that as well. And yeah, of course we do technical stuff all the time. So we thought, yeah, let's do a technical podcast. But it kind of surprised me that we kind of discussed like last 2-3 years in technical topics in like the first 5-6 episodes,
Yeah.
kind of. And now we're having this model where we don't have a set topic, which I think it's easier because we don't have to like, oh yeah, we forgot to talk about this, or we definitely have to stick to that, and we cannot talk about this today because it's not really on topic or whatever. And this is a bit easier and a bit more fun, I think.
Only thing
But
you have for titles. Otherwise, you could just topic, title equals topic, and now yeah, you actually have to come up with a title.
what I also didn't think would be that hard is getting the people together every week. Because like during the week, like of
Yeah,
course you see everyone all playing and so on, but actually getting everyone together to record and so on is kind of hard. If you look at the podcast, the last few times we were 3-4 people. In the beginning we were like 7. So
yeah. I mean,
It,
I think it's fair to say some people have gotten demotivated, and that's their business. But it's also just when you see people throughout the week, you don't notice that. I mean, they're never there at the same time, and that's
yeah,
probably because of their IRL schedule for a large part. So it can be hard to get everyone together, also just because of schedule, not necessarily because of motivation.
and different time zones. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
also time zones matter
Because for
because
some of us it's midnight, and then for the others it's yeah, they still have to
well, we can
drive
always do
home.
it like within reasonable hours considering school and sleeping time, but
Yeah.
course, most people still have other things. Like Niels can't go that late into the night as many me and I can. And
Yeah, sometimes I can. The only thing, the later it gets, the less sure that my
Yeah, like
implements.
my
Yes.
work schedule switched around a bit. I
Oh
have
yeah,
to. I don't have problems with making the scheduled recording time, but have to think about my sleeping pattern and so on.
oh yeah, that's
Uh,
right.
Yeah, like
Welcome to the real world, enemy.
you like till now I went to bed at like 6 a.m. and next week I have to get up at like 5 a.m. So
Oh yeah, just for the viewers, enemy did night shifts until
yeah, I did
recently,
night
so
shifts
that's
for
why.
like the last half year, and now I'm not. I'm doing day shifts now and have to manage it around. But that's not the point. I think with the podcast, yeah, like it's definitely a lot of fun and quite some work. And like for example, for episode 5, the really long one, I was like, "Yep, I really don't want to do show notes today."
I don't.
Because it
No,
was like 2
no
hours or
way.
something. But yeah, like somehow we get it done sooner or later.
Sooner or later, yes.
For later, we apologize, of course, but yeah, it's been quite fun experience so far, and I hope we can keep it going for quite a long while.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
hope we can do it.
One day
Well,
we'll reach 100.
what? Yeah, well, that would be very long. I don't know if I'm gonna uh
It's
endure that.
it, it's also kind of weird when like during the week when you just like regularly watch YouTube and like, we could talk about this in the podcast. Let me look up other videos related to that if that like there's
I
something.
never do that actually. You guys are the good ones. I'm not. I'm lazy.
And so sometimes I just look something like, oh, this is interesting, and I forget to write it down or whatever, or just totally forget. And like for I don't know, now I don't even remember which video it was, but like there was some video earlier this week I wrote down and I forgot about it, and I found it like 20 minutes before we started. Yeah, we talked about it, but I don't even recall now. Doesn't matter. Niels, your
For my
experience.
experience with podcasts, I actually started listening to podcasts about a year ago. When from someone I follow, I'm subscribed to on YouTube. He made a video about that he started doing podcasts, and I've never heard of podcasts before, and I thought, yeah, the videos he makes are often good, so why not? They had the first 3 episodes pre-recorded, and I downloaded the podcast app and downloaded the episodes, and yeah, I like listening to podcasts because you can listen to it when you're offline, and it's just nice. And when enemies started it, when about a half a year ago, about we should do a podcast. I thought, it's a joke, right? And after a while, maybe we should do that. And one day I got added to a Skype chat, and we're actually going to do.
No. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess those are our stories and the other people because they're not
And
here.
oh wait. For the work for the podcast, it's quite a lot of it's quite some work you have to do post. Yeah, I don't know what I want to say.
Well, it's a lot of work, as we mentioned.
Yeah, and doing the background footage. Last couple of episodes I did background footage because Micro had problems and about did it once or twice. And yeah, currently I'm just doing it both at the same time because I'm
Oh,
lazy.
really? Okay.
Yes.
Now you're doing very intensive crafting work.
No, we're
No.
breaking bedrock.
Breaking
Oh.
bedrock, but whilst talking,
Even nicer.
I find it harder to break the bedrock, so it's mostly me walking around. So yeah,
Oh well, you're doing
Yeah, it's
something.
actually kind of hard to focus about what you talk and play in
Yeah.
background. That's usually why I just stop playing when we start recording.
yeah, that's why enemy just joined. Maybe.
Also, also like I really would like to record background footage, but because of my internet connection, I couldn't upload it. Wouldn't make
But
sense to record it
the
because it
one
would take
thing
forever.
about doing background footage, it's you can show what kind of stuff you're doing in Minecraft, and otherwise it's just somewhere nobody knows that what you're doing. And yeah, this way I can show that we are doing bedrock breaking. Everyone in the world, whoa, bedrock breaking. That's
Boring.
Very
Yeah,
advanced in
I
technology.
guess I don't know how interesting it would be to watch me crafting like all the time.
Yeah, last week it was me trading with villagers for 1.5 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I think most people don't realize, but like actually I tried to keep up with the crafting work from our iron farm and gold farm and so on. And at the
By
moment
the
I
way,
kind of
enemy
spent
has a bot at the gold farm 24/7.
yeah.
So the gold farm is producing a lot. Okay, go on.
And I think like this week I already spent over 4 hours just with crafting stuff. Like not actually playing, just crafting all the stuff we got from our farms. Yeah, but Niels, more podcast impressions.
Enemy, don't blow up the bed.
Oops.
Ooh.
What are you guys doing on there? I'm not even on.
I just accidentally destroyed a bed in another.
Oh well. Well,
yeah.
I think those are our stories then. A lot of people are screwed because they're not here. Their
Yeah.
fault.
It's
Maybe next
really,
time.
last couple of times it's really hard to get people on.
Yeah, oh well.
The one advantage of having fewer people, yeah, when you're with 7, then some people they don't say anything because they don't have a chance to say anything. There's always someone else is talking, and when you're with few people, then yeah, you can say more.
That's right.
Do we want to talk about what you did this week, or are we too
I think
far
we can
in?
do that. Then we would
Briefly.
kind of be. I think if we do that, we have a nice length for a
Yeah, we're now 1 hour and
final
17
thing.
minutes in, according to.
Right. Yeah.
We can,
So I
this
only started
weekend,
the last one. So Niels.
this week I didn't do that much, but last week, Enemy and I made that ice farm thing,
Yeah, we designed an ice farm, right?
and we still have not built it because yeah, we have to break this bedrock first. More important right now, but yeah, it's pretty fast, bird powered, and if you harvest it once, you will get 2 double chests, right?
Yeah, 2 double chests per harvest. But
Yeah, a little bit more, but quite insane.
also a bit hard on your computer, right?
Yeah, Enemy just got a new PC, so and I don't have a new PC, so for me I had really bad frame rates because of all the light updates.
Yeah, it was
And
quite fun.
Enemy still 500 frames a second. Oh,
Yeah, we were building this, and Niels was like, "Hey, enemy, we need to change about this up because of all the light updates. I'm lagging hard." And I was like, "What are you talking about? I have 1200 frames."
Lol.
Yeah, quite funny. This week we all can we talk about this? Probably, yeah, right.
I think it's not really a secret, no.
Yeah, we worked on a mini game called Dark Shot, which
It's totally not named after one guy and not the other people in our group. Let's move on.
Underscore sex 123.
yeah,
No, you can't say that. No one knew.
Oh,
You're
I will
naming
put a
names.
beep. I will put a beep. Sorry.
Just kidding.
Yeah, no, like Dark Shot is an idea Dark came up with like I don't know how long ago, like probably over a year ago or something.
Oh my
And
god. Back in my day. We need to film back in my day in a part now, damn it.
Back
But it's
in
not
my
your...
day.
Okay, we can imitate him, that's alright.
it's a mini game where you have bows and are supposed to shoot other people off the platform, and it's quite a lot of fun. And like I don't know how often we did the redstone for this. Like I think I did it 3 or 4 times so far. Like that we did the whole thing because
Actually, Doc said that this time would be the 9th time.
yeah, like I wasn't around for the first few times.
The first few times were back in beta 1.3 with the very new redstone torches and such.
Whoa, torches.
Well, you said this time was the first time you used command block, so I guess it must have been
No,
spanning over quite a while.
like I like probably half a year ago. I did a version with Dark, or like that's how I met Dark when he was working on that and wanted my help with like the winning system or whatever it was. And Yeah, we had a version back then, and that was quite messy, so we decided to clean it up and do it again. And then Dark lost the old version.
Oh no.
And the version when we did it, we never got it finished because of we just like played more survival and stuff, so we never got it done. And then lately, Dark came and was like, we're working on it again, and about at that point actually started before me, and they had quite some stuff done when I joined, which was
Oh,
actually
well, I
surprising.
didn't do much by far now, so oh well.
Yeah.
I don't
So
think I
what
did.
did you do on it so far? Can talk
I
about
think
that
I
maybe.
mainly the developer's book and a thing we all know, but we shouldn't talk about.
Ah, yeah, I know.
Oh yeah. Well, basically, what I did all week is try to figure out how signs, like JSON signs, work.
Oh, yeah, I also figured that out, but for books instead. So yeah, developer's book.
And the funny thing is, like you can have normal signs, but of course, if you know like minigame servers, they also can click on the sign and it does things. And you can actually put up to 4 commands in one sign. And one of those commands could be to change a sign to a different sign, which has more commands in it, which is quite fun.
And otherwise, you can fill an area and execute lots of command and command blocks.
Yeah.
You don't need any more.
Like the funny thing is, like if you create the sign which has all the logic inside, you can have like put a map without command blocks, but only signs that do the command blocks and remove them afterwards when they're done with their commands, which is quite fun in theory, but it's way too hard to set up or not really useful. But in theory, you could do everything without command blocks. Just
Well,
have
then you have
signs
4
everywhere.
lines, right?
Yeah, but you can have like a line where you spawn in a command block, which
yeah.
But you just said it was no command blocks.
Yeah, but if you spawn it in and then remove it,
It's like a map in a command block, basically.
a map and a sign.
Yeah. So you alright.
It's quite interesting. You can do a lot of stuff with
But
those
how would you
normal
do clock
signs.
then? Like I guess you could say start clock and then it spawns a clock. But yeah.
Yeah, you could also have a sign which has like which spawns a command which has more command blocks inside. Like the perimeter block thing, you could spawn that with a sign, for example.
And then you have another sign to spawn that one sign. Yay.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things with signs that I didn't think you could do before, so I learned something, which was nice. And of course, when the map is out, you can see all the signs I did. Currently, I think we are in beta testing the map. Not open for public yet, but as soon as it is, we will have
we'll probably talk about
a link
it.
and everything, and
of
talk
course,
about it as well. Yeah.
So yeah, I think also we should definitely mention there are some other people involved. Some of the people who aren't on the podcast, like Nerdy has worked on it. Henry, who isn't here often. But yeah, I would say the core
Dark,
group
of
of the
course.
podcast. Yeah, but Doc has been on the podcast several times.
Yeah, but it's
well, yeah,
should mention him still.
It's his idea, of course.
Yeah, the credits room is completely full.
Like,
but
Doc is kind of like the project leader, you could say. He doesn't go that much into the command blocks, but he like what do you say, guides the projects.
He manages everything, and
yeah.
If I'm not sure like how everything should be done or what feature we want, he's the guy to go to.
Yeah. All right. Well, because Niels needs to go now, maybe we should just wrap it up here since we've talked about almost everything, and we can do some more talking about our own projects next week, I guess.
Sure.
All right.
Do the outro.
Do the outro.
This
time on the outro, I am going to recite 5 names from the Minecraft chats, if they are not too bad. It's gonna be BSM Creeper, Gary 360, Minecraft Fan 173, The Scout 739, and Hates Plays MC, who apparently is a YouTuber on Hypixel.
So if you know any one of those, tell them that we mentioned them.
So our outro is
that
random
they should pay us
shoutouts now.
Yeah, like, these are not free shoutouts, people. They have to pay for this. Yeah. So make sure you let them know about this open payment they should have to do, and sort it out. All right.
Please. Yeah,
Payment
please
in
do the payment
e-cookies or
within 20 years.
Yeah,
payment
sometime.
in e-cookies, right?
of course. Now, I guess it's gonna be it. Oh wait, actually, his Play Some C wasn't the YouTube, it's on just an Orange Steam.
Oh,
All right.
you lied to me.
I'm an idiot. All right. So that's gonna be it. Bye.
See ya.
See you guys.